Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. The UFC recently announced UFC 266. They're bringing back International Fight Week, September 25th, and I wanted to give a quick reaction to the fight card. The fight card is a very, very good fight card. Alexander Volkanovski will be defending his featherweight title against Brian Ortega in the main event, in a fight that I was really looking forward to for a while now. It was originally supposed to happen back in March. Volkanovski pulled out the week of the fight. And I was really hoping it would be rescheduled rather quickly after he pulled out. And next thing you know, the UFC was announcing that both guys would be the Ultimate Fighter coaches, which when I heard that, I was super disappointed because I knew the fight would be pushed back quite a bit. But at least now we finally have a date. You have Volkanovski coming in after those two controversial wins over Max Holloway. I personally thought he easily won the first one. The second one was a lot closer, but I gave it to Volkanovski as well. But there's a lot of people who would disagree with me, especially on that second one. Then you have Brian Ortega coming in. It's crazy to think that he is only one fight removed from the Max Holloway beating. It was back in 2018, and he got beat up badly by Max Holloway in his first ever title shot. And he took a long time off. I think he was out for about 2 years. He returned against the Korean Zombie and looked absolutely spectacular in that fight. He looked much improved in that fight, and he earned himself a title shot. Volkanovski was a new champion, and he earned himself a title shot. And I just can't wait to see how these two guys match up. You have Volkanovski, who's just such a well-rounded guy. He's a great striker. He's a good grappler. He's good everywhere. And you have Brian Ortega, who used to be known mainly as a jiu-jitsu guy, and his striking against Korean Zombie looks so damn good. And I'm interested to see if Ryan Ortega can get the better of Volkanovski on the feet. Where does Volkanovski go from there? Because I don't think he's going to want to take him down. A lot of guys think they can shoot on Brian Ortega. The next thing you know, they're getting submitted. So that fight should be super interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. And it's just a great featherweight fight. And I can't wait to see what happens. If Brian Ortega somehow pulls that off, Max Holloway has to be licking his lips looking for the next title shot because he obviously has a dominant win over him already. So I can't wait to see how that plays out. The co-main event is Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. I'm always happy to see Shevchenko back in the cage, but I just wish it was a better matchup, even though it's not available for her. Murphy is just the most deserving girl at flyweight right now, and the contenders just don't exist there. So I think Valentina Shevchenko wins dominantly, but I'm still happy to see her fighting. After this win, I hope she fights Amanda Nunes for the third time. That's if Nunes gets by Juliana Pena, but I think she probably should. But I think that's the fight to make, the trilogy, and I'm really excited for that fight. Then also you have on the card a fight a lot of people are excited for. You have Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz, and this is going to be a 5-round fight. Nick Diaz finally returning from a long layoff, and Robbie Lawler's been sticking around and he's been active. I think he's on a 3-fight losing streak. But this is a fight, a rematch, 17 years in the making. They last fought in 2004. So I think a lot of people are looking forward to this just for nostalgia reasons. I love Robbie Lawler and I also love Nick Diaz. It's hard to gauge where both of those guys are at in their careers right now. But I'm looking forward to the fight, especially considering it's 5 rounds. It's always exciting to see a Diaz brother in a 5-round fight. And Robbie Lawler always shows up to fight. So I can't wait for that fight. It should be interesting. But there's so many other great fights on the card. You also have Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Curtis Blaydes, which is an amazing heavyweight fight. You have Curtis Blaydes coming in off that loss to Derek Lewis, and you have Jairzinho Rozenstruik coming in off that brutal KO of Augusto Sakai. Then you also have Jéssica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo. A lot of people have been high on her. Now she gets an opportunity versus established girl in Jéssica Andrade, and we get to see what she can do. I think this is going to be a fight that a lot of people are going to be interested in. And this main card is just great. And even if you look on the prelims, you have Marlon Moraes versus Merab Davishvili, which I think is another great fight. And bantamweight is just so stacked. I've talked about it multiple times. And if Marab can beat Moraes, that is a massive win. And this is coming from a guy who was very, very high on Marlon Moraes. I know he's on a bit of a losing skid right now, but I think he's still a great test for Marab, who hasn't been fully tested in the UFC bantamweight division yet. And it's also a fight where if Marlon can get back on track, he can be right back in the title hunt. Another couple wins and he can be right back, getting close to that title shot. I know that sounds crazy right now considering the streak he's on. But, if he can get a win over Marab, a lot of people are high on Marab. I know, it won't be career changing, but it'll still be a decent win. Then you also have Tatiana Suarez finally returning after a long layoff to fight Roxanne Modafferi. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see Tatiana Suarez return. A lot of people are high on her. It should be an intriguing fight. Overall, I would grade this card a solid A. I think it's a great card. You don't have like three really intriguing title fights like last year. I would have gave Masvidal Usman 1, Max Holloway versus Volkanovski 1 or 2, I think it was. And then you also had another title fight on that card, Jose Aldo versus Peter Yan. I would have gave that card an A+. That doesn't have this much quality on this card, so I can't give it an A+, but I give it a solid A. Let me know what you guys would grade this fight card, because I really, really like it. I'm looking forward to it. It's not that far away. UFC 266, September 25th. Do me a favor, make sure you guys like the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.